Hello once again, internet friends. Thank you guys for coming back, hanging out, and today I want to talk about a few things. First off, I'll discuss briefly the workout and kind of what was going on. This was the third week, the fifth day, so that was my third session. It's a lot of numbers to remember. There will be a quiz later. Anyway, this was my higher repetition squat day. This is 4 sets of 7 at 450 pounds. Not a crazy weight for me. The rep range was more of the challenge because just the weight itself didn't feel incredibly heavy. I didn't feel at any point like, oh, I'm going to start missing reps, or that if I get under it, I'm not going to be able to do it at least once. And sometimes those kind of days can really get in your head when you get under there and you're like, I don't know if I'm going to stand back up at the end of this. But what it really did is it really challenges your ability to dig in and focus on something that is not super difficult, but could be difficult if you stop paying attention. And there's so much of that we run into in life. We take for granted the difficulty of some things and the amount of focus, and we lose respect for our craft. We lose respect for the attention that is needed for certain things. If in this particular circumstance, with this specific example of powerlifting with something like higher reps, usually if you can do this 7 times, multiple sets, it's not going to be an incredible mental focus task at the start of the set. Usually it's by the last half of the set where things start to kind of creep into your mind, you start to get a little tired, you get out of breath, and your ability to process and starting to weigh, I guess the pros and cons of doing the reps correctly and really driving and trying to work and focus on your technique. Are you going to adapt the mentality of I'm just going to go through and do it however and just make it through, or are you going to try to actively improve? And in a situation like this, or in most of those kinds of situations in life where you have something that doesn't demand your full attention just to finish, you have to make the conscious choice to put value onto whatever it is that you're focusing on, and making sure that it's done quality, that it's done in a way that is going to actually benefit you. There are so many times in your life where you are going to be doing something where you don't have to try as hard as your absolute hardest. You don't have to give 100% effort to just finish the task. But in most of those circumstances, if you try harder, you will do a better job at that thing, and it will benefit you more in the long run. This can be something with your job, this can be something with homework or studying. It applies to so many things other than just putting this weight on your back and moving it. But it really did kind of jump out at me, the thought of, well, yeah, I could just go and do these however and say, well, I just made it through and it sucks and I don't like doing rep work, or I don't like doing homework, or I don't like reading about this topic that is interesting or that is not very interesting to me but necessary for doing the things that I want to do. If you have a goal, if you have something that you're working towards, and if that goal involves bettering yourself as a person, you owe it to whatever that passion is, or you owe it to whatever that task is, to constantly try to do better at it and to improve it, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it would just be easier to sit back and say, well, I'm doing enough, no reason to keep pushing to improve on that, no reason to keep trying to work. If it's doing well enough, why not just stop? And it really becomes the idea of you putting value in something for yourself. Powerlifting, weightlifting, all of this stuff doesn't really matter when you think about it. And I'm going to shock some people when I say that, because this is primarily a powerlifting channel. But if you look at it from a completely objective view, this thing doesn't matter. It's arbitrary. We set up guidelines for ourselves that we choose to put value into it. It's almost all ascribed value. But the intrinsic value, the value within the thing itself, comes from what it allows you to do. It allows you to set a point of focus. It allows you to set a goal and set a pursuit, and then it gives you the opportunity to practice working as hard as you can to get towards that thing. And there will be times when you fail at that pursuit. I know that I've personally gone through so many of those times where I have failed to do the thing that I wanted to do at the eventual build up, and it all leads up to the time to actually show up and do what you were planning on doing, and it doesn't always work out. But if you've truly given your best effort and tried as hard as you could, you can look back on that as a period of growth and as a period of learning, and you can apply that to so much more of your life than just moving a weight or just moving your body or working on getting a 6 set of ripped abs, bro. It has to be more than that if you want to if you want to be able to improve your ability to work towards that goal. You have to put the meaning into it, you have to put the value into it, and then you have to learn from this and actually take away the lesson that there are other parts of your life that demand that kind of focus, and it doesn't necessarily have to be something of value to you. If it's something that you're working towards, you owe it to the idea of that thing to try your best and to constantly look to improve. So I hope this video was maybe a little insightful. I hope it didn't come across too preachy or a little bit too philosophical for some of you guys who just wanted to come and watch the weights get lifted. But that's just what was on my mind on this day, and I hope it helped you guys think a little bit if you're going through something in your life that it relates to. So thanks for following along, and I'll have another video out soon. Have a great day.